people, ladies and gentlemen, the feels in this series, the feels, it was just like it just grabbed my heart and just rocked it to sleep. This series was so wonderful. Ancient Magus' Bride, episode 1, first impressions. And you guys know that I like to talk, but I like to get to the point too. So if you want to know if this series is worth your time, I'm going to tell you right now, this early in the video. Yes, a resounding yes. Drop whatever you're doing and go watch it just like I did to come down to talk to you guys about this video, because this first episode was so captivating. It was so good. It was so heartwarming. And I'm not really a slice of life guy into as of late. Like, I really am, like, maybe within the past year, just starting to watch slice of life anime, because that wasn't what I was looking for when I think of anime or when I watch anime. But now it is stuff like this that is exactly what I'm looking for when I watch anime. And it was just done so well. Ancient Magus' Bride being done by which studio? So you know they always go in, whether it's with music, art, direction, and everything. And this series doesn't disappoint on any of those fronts. And something else is we got the opening right at the beginning. I mean, we usually don't get that. We usually get like that first episode, or even the episodes going forward. You usually get like that first minute or two of some type of monologue or some type of flashback or some type of indication of where their series is going, but they decided to hit you right in the face with the opening, and it was just so well done that I still know there's other series out there I need to watch, but as of right now, it just might be my favorite opening of the fall season, if not the second, because that opening of Vanish Line was freaking awesome. So, Ancient Magus' Bride, for those of you guys who are not familiar with what this is about or wondering what the show is, it is a slice of life fantasy magic type of series, and it takes place in London. Even though we're not sure exactly what time frame we're in, it seems like it's an interesting mix. It seems more like it's modern times by the way the people dress and the other atmospheres that we have, like with the schools and the buildings and how people are among the city. But by it being a fantasy and a magical setting, you're always gonna have that kind of old type of feel, or like a medieval type of feel, or just whenever you're dealing with the type of mystical world, it's always going to have that old feel there, but at the same time it has that modern type of spin to it as well, as we go back and forth between the areas that we're in this episode. And Harry Potter would probably be the best comparison as far as the look and feel of the series. Like how when the kids were at home, you know, you had the modern type of look and feel of the regular city that we're used to now, but when they were at Hogwarts or anywhere else, it was more kind of like an olden time type of feel. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Ancient Magus' Bride, and this series looked absolutely beautiful. And again, what it is about, we have our main character by the name of Chise Hattori, and she had a very bad life. I mean, a very bad life. Of course, we're probably going to get more about her past as the episodes go on, but she was sold into slavery, and she was actually okay with that. Like, something went on in her life that was so bad that she was just hoping that somebody would buy her and actually care about her. That's how bad her life must have been before she was bounced from orphanage to orphanage to orphanage until she was finally sold off. And our other main character by the name of Elias Ainsworth, which is pretty interesting because he is a Magus or a mage, and he has kind of like a skeleton type of mask, and he has Ainz in his name. It just instantly reminded me of Overlord. But she is purchased by this man, and this is going to be the bulk of the series, because even though he bought her out of slavery, he bought her to be his apprentice, and moreover to be his bride, and hence that's where we get the title from. But he is going to be such a good character, such a captivating character, because we have this girl who is filled with so much sorrow and pain from her past world, and his interest in having her is her ability. She was called a slave buggy, and she has the ability to see the supernatural. She's basically like a magical beacon where things are navigated and attracted to her, and only she can see them. And that's something that's kind of been a curse, because she can see all these things. She's probably hearing voices, she's hearing different visions, And people see that as weird. People shunned her. Her own parents didn't want anything to do with her because of that. But this man decides to come and take her in. And this curse that she sees on herself is going to be a gift, as he's going to bring her in, teach her about this magical world and everything about it. He's going to take her in as his apprentice and his bride and show her her worth and show her what he's for. I'm pretty sure at some point he's going to have some selfish tendencies. Like, I'm pretty sure her ability to see all these supernatural beings and things that she can see is going to be a little bit selfish on his end, because this is what he wants her for. But I don't think he's going to be malicious at all, because this episode, he shows how much he cares about her, and he shows that he wants her to be there. And it just warmed my heart so much when he said, "You are family to me now. I'm going to take care of you." And I mean, we don't know anything about these characters yet, and if you want to know more, there is a 3-episode OVA that's also on Crunchyroll as well that you can watch. And I've only watched the first episode myself, so I need to take my own advice. But the 3 episodes are kind of a prequel to the series, or it takes place later on in the series where you get more time with these characters and know more about them and their personality, instead of it just kind of being glossed over because we have to move along with the series. But I can tell I'm just going to absolutely love this series, with Elias taking her in, showing her her worth in life, showing her that she is worth something. And again, for a man who they say hates humans, for him to take her in, more likely again because of what she can do, but to show this other side of himself, this loving, warming side. Like, even though he says things that kind of allude to he doesn't really care, like, you know, you're just a puppy, or, you know, you're my sleigh buggy, but at the same time, for him to embrace her and say, "Your family," give her this necklace so he can always know that she's around as a gift, and to keep her out of danger. And I just can't gush enough about how good this is. The art was fantastic, definitely the best art I've seen of the fall season so far, and the music just hits on all of the right notes. I mean, it draws you in. It has those little bells and those little chimes of the mystical world that you think about. And it's perfect for the fall season, especially when you know, the winter months start to come in, you know, Christmas time, and just to hear those type of sleigh bells and just a little, you know what I'm talking about, that type of music. It just, oh man, this was such a good episode. And it's like Elias, he of course cares about this girl and wants her to learn about magic and be drawn into this world, but at the same time, he wants her to go out there and see what's out there in the world himself, and to test her loyalties too, because there were some fairies in this episode, and he knew about the fairies and their intentions. And if you ask me, fairies are always fucking evil, but they were trying to draw her into this world to come with her, and he saw it and he was like, well, let me see what she's going to do. So when the fairies are trying to lure her in, saying, you know what, you're an orphan, no one cares about you, why don't you come with us into this fairy world and you will be taken care of forever. And it goes back to the type of life that she had, where she almost considered it, but she thought about how this man who she just met has treated her better than anybody she's ever seen in her life. And she said, you know what, I was not told to come here, I need to go back. I've been treated well where I am. That's okay, thank you. And when he showed up, and that was like the ultimate test for her, and he was like, you made the right decision. I mean, I can just gush over this all day. It was just such a good episode, and it hits on all the right notes. I definitely recommend it. I don't even need to tell you guys if I'm going to have the 3-episode test for it, because I'm in for the long run. This is just the beginning, and I cannot wait to get into this series. And we had a little bit of darkness there with the elves, but we got comedy too, because again, this is a slice of life series, and you're talking about two people who are now pretty much married, because he said, not only are you my apprentice, but you're about to be my bride. So you got these two personalities getting to know each other, like when he took her in and tried to clean her up and give her the bath, and she was fighting back, and you're like, you're acting like a kid right now, stop. But at the same time, you know, it was funny, and it was heartwarming as well, to show how much he wants to go in and just say, look, you're good with me, you're my family. I feel like it had me gushing. I mean, I looked at that one scene in particular and I was like, oh my God, that is so sweet. He's such a sweetheart. And you got me saying he's a sweetheart and I'm a dude. So yeah, Ancient Magus' Bride, I highly recommend. This first episode gets a 10 out of 10 for me, and I highly recommend that you give it a try. Even if slice of life isn't your thing, I think this has enough warmth in it to change your mind about it. So guys, let me know what you thought of this first episode in the comments below. And if you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's just not shortage of content you indulge on this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.